And that actually leads on to the next question. How do you see God working through Christian films right now? I know for myself, I've been just observing Christian filmmakers for the past few months, and it just seems like Christian film companies are starting to pop up everywhere compared to,
Yes.
2, 3, 5 years ago.
I would completely agree with that. The Christian film industry right now is what I call small but growing fast. We haven't done too many huge movies, but you're absolutely right when you say there's Christian film industry springing up all over the nation. And more Christian movies are being made. So far, most of them, the mass majority, have been very small budget, very low budget films. Looking at such as Fireproof being one of the larger budget films. Now, of course, you can throw in our few giants like, say, The Passion of the Christ. That would probably be the biggest. But even there, they started using the studios. That wasn't the independent.
And that was fully funded by, one person who.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It definitely wasn't supported by the film industry in general.
Yes. So, film industry is growing fast, especially for the Christian film industry. I recently saw a list that made me very sad. It was actually 2 lists of movies. They were all movies with Christian messages in them. The list was split between those movies that had been made by Christians with Christian messages and those movies that had not been made by Christians but still had Christian messages. With 2 exceptions, I believe, every single movie that was made by the Christians had pretty much failed at the box office, whereas every movie that had been made by non-Christians that still had Christian messages all succeeded and did really well. And so I found that very interesting. And I feel like there ought to be a reason for that. Part of the conclusion that we have come to is Christians tend to be very preachy when we try to make our movies. And so the non-Christians just go for the message. They go for a telling the story elegantly without preaching and doing a sermon. And so that's one of our goals with this movie is to make it a very well done piece of artwork, a very well written and told story, and a very well done movie. Obviously, we're still amateurs, but we're doing the best we can. We're trying to do that all without being preachy and turning it into a sermon, because I feel there's a place for sermon and there's a place for a movie, and what we're doing is making movies.
I have another question for you too, and I think it's just an important question because we've been talking about your journey and what you guys, what the Lord has let you accomplish for these past few years. But what mistakes have you made? What mistakes have you learned from? What were the struggles that you were able to come out of, and you'd like to help prevent others from making the same mistakes?
Interesting that you asked. I can't say that we have the huge, vast experience so that we've made so many problems and then been able to learn from them. What we've seen easier is it's easier to observe others making mistakes. As bad as that sounds, it seems to be true. I guess the largest one that we've seen so far is we've seen directors and producers get in over their head with a project and try and be over-ambitious to the point that they don't quite know what they're doing yet. And so then they start making mistakes of efficiency, making mistakes with just being able to treat people well. They just have so much work to do they can't get it all done. And so what we're trying to do with this movie is we're trying to start very small. And in the way movies go, this is a very, very small movie. It's
Yeah, I like to say that if we add a couple zeros onto our budget, we become micro budget.
Oh wow. Yes, small.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're doing with this is we're trying to start very small. Obviously, we went to school first. We've done numerous short films, anywhere between 5 minutes and 15, half hour. Now we're moving into a feature, but it's a very small feature as far as budget goes. And we're hoping that we will learn and still be able to do a well job and just increase the size of our projects slowly over time so that we don't overextend ourselves.